Hello everyone and welcome to Coronation Street official today. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up because today we are diving into one of the most jaw-dropping, emotionally charged moments this show has delivered in a very long time. And trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this breakdown. Weatherfield has always been a place where emotions simmer just below the surface, where neighbors smile through gritted teeth and secrets get buried under layers of polite silence. But something has finally cracked wide open. The tension that has been quietly building for weeks, maybe even longer, has exploded in the most dramatic and unexpected way possible. Danielle, a character who many viewers may have initially underestimated, has launched a full-scale physical attack on Theo, and the entire community is left reeling in the aftermath. This is not a simple argument that got out of hand. This is a woman who reached her absolute limit, crossed a line she cannot uncross, and in doing so forced everyone around her to confront truths they had been carefully avoiding. The attack is brutal, it is raw, and it is utterly gripping to watch. But more than the spectacle of it all, what truly makes this moment so unforgettable is the emotional depth behind it. The years of pain, the unspoken betrayals, and the sense of inevitability that makes it feel like this was always going to happen eventually. Let me paint the full picture for you, because the build-up to this confrontation is just as important as the moment itself. The atmosphere in Weatherfield had already been teetering on the edge for some time. You could feel it in the way characters spoke to each other, the way conversations ended abruptly, the way glances were exchanged with meanings that never quite made it into words. Danielle had been carrying something heavy for a long time, and I mean really carrying it. The kind of emotional weight that changes how you walk into a room, the kind that keeps you up at night and sits with you at the breakfast table. Her pain was never loudly announced, but it was always there, tucked underneath every interaction she had, shaping her responses in ways that the audience could read even when the other characters could not. And then there is Theo. I can't believe how much this man has managed to divide opinion within the show's community. He's not a straightforward villain, and that is exactly what makes him so compelling and so infuriating in equal measure. He carries his own set of complications, his own history, his own way of presenting himself to the world that makes it very difficult to place him neatly into any one category. When Danielle finally confronts him, it is not just about whatever specific trigger brought them to that moment. It is about everything that he represents to her, every unresolved feeling, every moment of injustice she felt but never fully addressed. The attack becomes symbolic in the most visceral way possible. Imagine how she must have felt in that moment, like every single thing she had been holding inside had finally found a way out, violent and unstoppable. The physicality of the scene is intense, and the writers do not shy away from showing the real consequences of what happens when someone completely loses control. But what elevates this beyond a typical shock moment is the emotional undercurrent running beneath every second of it. You are watching years of mistrust, buried secrets, and deep-seated betrayal collide in real time. And the result is something that feels both shocking and, in a strange, uncomfortable way, entirely believable. That is the genius of the writing here. They never let you forget that Danielle is a full human being with a full history, not just a plot device designed to create chaos. And when the dust starts to settle, even just barely, the bystanders are left completely frozen. I love how the show handles those moments of collective paralysis, because it feels true to life. When something this extreme happens, people do not always rush in. Sometimes they just stand there, unable to process the scale of what they have just witnessed, unsure whether intervening would make things better or worse. That hesitation says so much without saying anything at all. And in true Coronation Street fashion, the ripple effects begin almost immediately, threading through conversations and relationships in ways that will take weeks, maybe months, to fully unfold. Danielle's actions forced every person on that street to hold the mirror up to themselves, to ask whether they played any role, however small, in creating the kind of environment where something like this could happen. Some people will feel a grim, uncomfortable sense of recognition, others will feel genuine fear, and a few will quietly wonder whether they could have done something earlier to prevent it from ever reaching this point. What makes the aftermath of this confrontation so compelling is its refusal to offer easy answers. The show does not present Danielle as a monster, nor does it present Theo as a clean-cut victim. Instead, it leans hard into the messy, complicated truth that most real conflict operates within. A place where multiple people are carrying pain, where blame is rarely one directional, and where the lines between right and wrong become blurred almost beyond recognition. Theo's position within the narrative is genuinely shifted by this moment. The attack reframes him, forces both the characters around him and us as viewers to re-examine everything we thought we understood about him. The duality is where the story finds its real power. The street itself feels changed, heavier, more fragile, as if the confrontation has exposed just how thin the surface really was. Alliances that once seemed solid are now being tested. Conversations carry new layers of tension, and Danielle, now standing at the center of all of this, must face not only the practical consequences of what she has done, but the deeper emotional reckoning that follows, the kind that forces genuine introspection, accountability, and maybe eventually something that begins to look like a path forward. It will not be easy, and it should not be. That is the point, because what really lingers here isn't the violence itself, but the silence that follows, the kind that feels heavy, uncomfortable, and impossible to ignore. In my opinion, this is where Coronation Street quietly does its best work, not in the shouting, but in the emotional aftermath that forces every character and even us as viewers to sit with difficult truths. Danielle's breaking point doesn't just shock us, it challenges us. How much pressure can someone carry before they snap? And did anyone truly try to stop it in time? And Theo's position now feels more complex than ever, because when sympathy and blame start to blur, it leaves everyone asking who is really responsible here, and is anyone completely innocent? What makes this storyline powerful is how real it feels, because in real life consequences don't arrive all at once. They creep in slowly, changing relationships, shifting loyalties, and leaving cracks that may never fully heal. So the real question now is, can Danielle ever rebuild trust after crossing that line, or has she permanently changed how the street sees her? And what about Theo? Will this moment finally force him to confront his own role in everything, or will it push him even farther into isolation? Looking ahead, I have a feeling this is over, not even close, because stories like this don't end with one confrontation. They evolve, and I wouldn't be surprised if this leads to an even deeper divide in Weatherfield, or even another unexpected fallout that no one sees coming. And maybe the most unsettling thought of all, what if this moment becomes a turning point not just for Danielle or Theo, but for the entire community?